But I learned along the way that it was actually a superpower waiting to come out. And I know you're listening and you're cringing and you're going, "Wah, I don't know about this superpower thing." Well, let's look at it this way. A superpower is someone who can distinguish a truth from a lie. A superpower is someone who can walk into a room and go, this doesn't feel safe. Something's off. Let me look around and see what I need to do. Where are my highly sensitive people out there? Where are you at? You know what? There's a lot of talk these days about HSP, highly sensitive person. Are you one of them? Are you somebody who's maybe sensitive to smells, sounds, emotions, other qualities around you that seem like I'm too sensitive for this world? Well, I've learned there's a solution out there for me, and I want to talk to you about it. So I grew up thinking that I'm a highly sensitive person, although it wasn't a word yet. It was just growing up and thinking I'm aware of like so much of what's going on. Smells would be too much. I can't have chemicals and perfumes on. Sensitive skin. My teeth are sensitive. I'm like sensitive head to toe. I learned much later now as a professional clairvoyant spiritual development coach, there is a way to solve this energy without becoming a professional clairvoyant. So I was growing up and I'm feeling all this energy around me. I feel emotions. I was aware of thoughts going by. I was sensitive to chemicals, sensitive to loud sounds. Now I'm a drummer and I'm sensitive to loud sounds. Yeah, you heard that. I didn't realize it was to try to shut out the noise that was inside my head. It doesn't work, by the way. Or drinking beer and stuff to try to shut out the noise that's in my head. At the time, I grew up thinking, this is a big problem. I'm just always going to be sensitive. And somehow I related that to a part of me feeling powerless, like this sensitivity is bigger than me. And so I'm always going to be kind of less than. So as I'm growing up and I'm thinking there's this big liability of being what's now termed an HSP, highly sensitive person, and thinking that, oh my gosh, I've got this problem. I don't know how to solve this problem. And so I'm looking in books. And at the time, this is like the 80s and 90s. This is before the internet, you guys. Yes, I'm that old. And I'm looking in the self-help place section of the bookstore. And I'm like, there's got to be something else. Probably a lot of you people that also identify as sensitive, highly sensitive, you might also be interested in self-help, in spiritual information. How many of you reach your arms out and you can pick up a crystal just because you think they're pretty? You might have interest beyond just go to work, retire, die. You might be looking around going, there's something else to this experience, isn't there? I don't know. It wasn't in school. I didn't find it yet in the church. Maybe, what is it? So you might find yourself also spiritually curious, looking beyond the veil. But I learned along the way that it was actually a superpower waiting to come out. And I know you're listening and you're cringing and you're going, "Wah, I don't know about this superpower thing." Well, let's look at it this way. A superpower is someone who can distinguish a truth from a lie. A superpower is someone who can walk into a room and go, this doesn't feel safe. Something's off. Let me look around and see what I need to do. A superpower of being able to stand my ground and find my own truth, my own voice. It's all been a practice. You'll hear me say this a lot in videos, but I do want to keep coming around that this is a practice. And you'll hear me ad nauseum saying, you can't just take a pill or plug in a gadget. It's got to be working your way up step by step in a practice, but you can change your space right away with a couple of quick things. So I'm going to keep saying this. Highly sensitive person, you're picking up data streams on a lot of different levels. You pick up details. That guy wore a blue shirt on Monday and it had a button missing. And usually on Thursdays, we eat this. Physical details, maybe then you also, that's one level of awareness. Maybe then you also kind of kick it up a notch and you're tuned in on emotions. That person is doing their work and they are smiling, but I can tell there's upset. I have an awareness of emotion that's not mine. That person's upset. That's another data stream information level. Then maybe some of you might pick up data information on the stream of thoughts. There's thoughts kind of going around all the time. Vote for this person, kind of programming. Thoughts about our group believes this. We have this belief system. Or maybe it's thoughts about, you see somebody, again, they look like they're really happy, but you catch this little thought that goes by, oh, I messed up on my grades at school today. You go, oh, wait a minute. No, actually, I made a good grade. Where'd that thought come from? And you look around to try to find, oh, it wasn't my thought, but I was aware of it. Awareness on different data streams. Then maybe some of you are also having awareness on spiritual levels. That could be a deceased loved one coming to visit. This happens pretty regular for young kids, where maybe a deceased grandparent or something wants to come and tuck them in before bed. These are different levels of awareness, sensitivities that a highly sensitive person, HSP, would be becoming aware of. So the trick here then, just because you're aware of it doesn't mean it's bigger than you. You're just aware of it. So that's the first step, is being aware of it. Now you can start to shift it and change it and manage it. Some of the first couple steps we do in this style of training, it's just called clairvoyant training at this point, is to ground yourself and separate what's mine and what's somebody else's. There's a step-by-step process you can go through in some of the online training too. There actually is a volume knob to learn how to dial down what you're aware of. And there is a way of tuning into the information you're curious or interested about and kind of dialing back the things that you don't want. But again, I want to come back to the point that it does take practice. It's definitely a practice. I started shifting my energy probably in the 90s. I was doing a different meditation practice for a number of years. That was more meditation as a service to humanity. Then I came into this clairvoyant style, and I just thought it was fun. I didn't think I was already clairvoyant. And I started learning more about our energy body. And that's where the information gets picked up. That's where all this data is getting picked up. It registers in the physical body through certain means that I won't get into all the tactical mechanics of it. But when you look clairvoyantly, you can see how that energy is running. And of course, if we know how it's running, then we can shift and change it. This is putting you in the driver's seat of your own experience. So you don't have to feel less than what you're aware of. You don't have to feel like your sensitivity is bigger than you. You're way bigger than these sensitivities. So let this be a door opening to a new way of life for you. There's some classes here. Come on in. The main point I want to make is that in the realm of HSP out there's a lot of great definitions and strategies dealing with the physical body and the emotional body. And I want to add to that often people are picking up data, not just on the body level. That smell is too much. I'm too sensitive to it. I can't have perfumes, no scents in my hair products. Yeah, that's on the physical level, and the emotional level you're picking up, and a lot of people are covering that as well. Then there's also the level of the mental space, the thoughts that are going around, and then there's the whole spirit space. And so those are those upper levels I can help you with in managing all that as well. So picking up data on different levels, and you can learn to manage that. So come on in, let's get going, and be sure and like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, give me a thumbs up and be sure and subscribe so you get the next one. Meanwhile, here's a couple more videos.